We are more than just, arrangements of atoms, and all of a sudden here we are. When you get old, now reality hits like nothing else. Once you're starting to...
And once you achieved everything.
No, you not necessarily achieved anything. I'm seeing my beard get white. I saw my father's beard get white,
And then he died.
And he died. And now I'm reaching that stage. What is there deeper than this? Because people who live older, more, they see the life in its realities. Why are you still indulging in what kids indulge in? That doesn't mean if kids do it, it's okay.
Correct.
But it's more expected from them. So the youth, it's like a double-edged sword. If you use your potential as a youth, you have energy, you can build something great. But at the same time, if you use your energy in bad, then you will indulge in a lot of bad.
And that will be very hard.
And it will be very hard. And you see, this is why youth is like, many of them are like sheep, The media, the big guys are the shepherds, they move them right, left.
So, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the Cozy Cast with a new setup and a new location, everything. Upgrading our quality as part of it, consistency, and a lot of other stuff you guys would like to enjoy and to have the cozy discussion today. But before that, how are you doing, Munzir?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm doing fine as of now.
Alhamdulillah.
And
you don't want to tell them where are we, or you don't think so?
I think people can keep guessing in the comment section. We'll check that, and we'll check who's the smartest and the most experienced person, or the person who has roamed a lot, in Qatar.
And today we don't have a guest, so it's the two hosts today, me and Abdulrahman. We're just gonna talk about some general stuff. I personally didn't know what we're gonna talk about, but this is what we usually do. We just hang out, do something, and then all of a sudden we come up with
We are somewhere else, solely in the discussions.
Yeah.
So, talking about the topic today, about wandering. So, see, when you wander, okay, whatever it is, wander in life, you sometimes sit and imagine, like, how is life, man? Like, you every time talk about life, how is life, how is this, how is that? But do you really think life is easy or hard? Because in Quran, if you see, there are many things which tell you life is easy and everything is easy. Islam tells you life is easy, but still you face hardships. So how do you reconcile between these two perspectives?
I think we should define what is easy.
Okay.
What is an easy life?
Easy life is you are relaxed, there's no stress or tension.
You could say that, but the issue is it even practical? Like we might imagine an easy life as a life with no hardship whatsoever. And by the way, we have some other people here. They want to add anything, we'll just tell you what they have,
Yeah.
But either way, because again, this is Cozy Cast. It's not like this is what we do,
No formatted.
Yeah. So anyways, I would say people imagine an easy life as,
Comfort
zero
and everything.
Zero full stress. Comfort, zero stress, zero. But is that even possible? I don't think it's possible. Because I remember back in the day, I would think, by the way, even before all of these things, I would think, what is actually happiness? Because at that time, I didn't think that happiness existed.
Acha, why?
Wallahi, back in the day, I didn't think happiness existed.
Is it because you had tough times or this?
I don't know, but I would think that the issue with being happy is anything could just ruin it because you're too happy.
It would be temporary.
Yeah.
So you didn't want...
I don't know if I didn't want to believe there is something called happiness, but I came to a conclusion in the end that happiness really is content. It's being content. And that's before studying Islam.
Which age?
I'm talking about 15. I'm talking about 15, 14.
That means, first of all, you had enough time to think and contemplate on stuff.
I will tell you, I even told our brother sitting here, my hobby back in I would just walk. Walk for hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, just walking. I would think, start thinking. I would think a lot. And I told you that I would sometimes even go as far as, you get me, talk to myself,
having personal talk.
Personal talk, anyways. So I would sit down and speak, what is that? Because people say, for example, an easy life is being happy, being comfort, being in no anxiety, but I don't think that's possible, okay?
Correct.
Because
Practically, it's
life
not
is a test. No, 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 no,
possible.
no. But
Okay.
we need to know what do they mean by a happy or easy life, you know. But like I was saying,
How about they tell they want to have fun and enjoy life? Is that possible?
yeah, but with enjoyment and all of these things also comes a lot of confusion, because once that entertainment is done, you will realize that, okay, now what? So where is the real happiness? Where is the real easiness? Because you spend the whole day with your friends, and this is what a lot of people do,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
they
yeah.
spend the whole day,
With the
whole
friends.
night with friends and going out on all of these things.
And 2 hours
But
of uni, and that's enough.
no, but when they come back to their home, they're like, whoa, there is a huge void. You know, they're like super.
So you're telling it's as if you drink wine or alcohol. You enjoy for the moment, but when the effects of the alcohol is
Yeah,
gone, then you are still,
yeah, you have the headache and all of these things. You know,
which means the thrill and the happiness is
no,
not consistent.
no, no, no.
It will go up and down.
Absolutely, and that's
So
why
that's not what you should aim
you'll
for.
see people who do have an quote unquote easy life. You know, they have mansions, their parents, and but you know, they're not happy.
So basically, what I'm trying to understand, and you have seen this many stories that, and you have met, as you live in Qatar, that you have met many people. You feel that they're coming from rich families, but still they are unhappy and they are
I remember a
problems.
friend. I remember a friend. He was always happy. Okay, like he would joke a lot and whatnot, but he had issues back home. And one time he was like, we were talking about his issues, and he was like, "Don't look at me like this. Don't see me laughing around with my friends, and or I have problems." And I'm talking about a person who's like, alhamdulillah, he's well off, you know, alhamdulillah, mabarak, he's well off, you know.
But family issues.
But family issues, you know, parents issues, stuff like this, you know. So the thing is, when it comes to these, like everyone has a fitna, everyone has his own troubles, because Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned and that this life is a test. We are here in this life as a test. You know, we're not here to enjoy enjoyment. This is for Jannah. Like imagine a life, no hardships, no anything. You're just enjoying your time. This is Jannah. Like I think people are assuming an
They
easy
want
life.
heaven on earth,
Exactly, which is
which is
impossible.
impossible.
Because this
Okay.
is not why we're created.
So few things we established. One is that happiness is not consistent.
No, let's conclude like categorize it as this or in steps. What do you mean by easy life? No, all comfort, no anxiety. We say this is not possible.
Not possible. Not logical.
If you want heaven on earth, it's not possible. Everyone
Correct.
has this. Real happiness. What is happiness? Okay, because some people say, well, I want to my purpose of living. I want to be happy. The reason I'm living, I just want to be happy. This is my goal.
Is it hedonism?
What is that?
It is that you just live by pleasure, or you just want to stay happy, enjoy the life, and just die.
This is how many people do. This is why they say
Just stay happy. And
say
calm.
YOLO, you only live
Yeah,
once.
yeah.
Yeah. Why? Because they're all trying to push that life of, you know,
Agenda.
you do what you do what you want. You live your life, you know, to the fullest. You only live once. You live it to the fullest. But what do you mean live it to the fullest? You know, because we've seen it throughout. يعني our history as alive, even when we see like the whole social media people, they are drowning in drugs, they're drowning in sadness, and you'll see people killing themselves, and they're
Celebrities
millionaires.
and everyone,
Yeah,
yes.
they're millionaires. Like, what easy more life, quote unquote, do you want more than that? But they're still doing it. But you'll see people, mashayikh, like we'd read and we'd hear, like even our brother here knows one of his mashayikh. He doesn't have a chair and stuff. Yeah, no, he sits on the floor. You get me? And he's happy. You see people, so. And
But don't you think these are extreme examples which people don't fit on daily basis?
this is these examples you see, which are extreme, just to show the possibility or to show that look, wherever you reach, definitely money is not the answer to it. Comfort and all of these things are not the answer to it. So easy life, depending on how you define it, will actually be true or false. If you define a easy life as a life of contentment of what you got, whatever I got, I'm content with this, you know, I'm happy with this, you know, then this is what we consider an easy life, then we'll say yes. Yeah, so it depends on how you define happiness, because you ask, is like easy life, or how you define easy life, is easy life possible? We say, what do you mean by easy life?
So it's all about perspectives.
It's all about your mentality. It's all about your perspective. It's subjective, you could say. What do you mean by easy life? If you mean easy life, a life which is simple, you are content with what you have, whether you're rich or poor, whatever, you're content. You agree that this life, there are hardships, there are tough days, there are ups and downs. If you are agreeing with this and content with this, you'll have an easy life. You get me?
I don't know what example to give, but it is like there are examples like your life is tough, but something is there. You're like, okay, at least it's not worse than that. So again, perspective matters. Like you have an exam tomorrow, but if you compare that to a person living in Gaza, you'll be like, okay, my life is way easier than that. So it's about perspective.
Exactly. And definitely, that's why I'm saying it's definitely about perspective, because you will see some people in Gaza, even though they're living what they're living, the hardship, you'll see them living happy.
Yeah.
You'll
Some
see
of them
some of them obviously content with what they have, alhamdulillah, and all of these things. And they say,
Even
look,
if they don't seem happy, they're content with
they're content
the position
with it.
with
You get
Allah.
me? And if you agree that in your life that you can have ups and downs, you can have toughness in your life, and you what you're supposed to be doing is being calm throughout that time, and accepting your faith and saying alhamdulillah and whatnot, then yes, your life will be easy. Because when you are facing these things, you say قدر الله ما شاء فعل. Yes, this is a hardship, but this is a part of life. But if you think, or you make your whole mentality that an easy life is a life with no hardships and life with comfort, no anxiety, no hardships, no death, nothing, then I'm sorry, but you're living a dream. You're not living in
your
real
dream
life.
is to live in heaven.
Exactly.
This is not true.
And that's why Allah Azza wa Jal mentions those of the mu'mineen and mu'minat who are remembering Allah Azza wa Jal and all this, they will have a beautiful life, a good life, an easy life.
How about this point that the best person in the world was Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam
Absolutely.
himself.
No doubt.
But that is the only guy, he had the worst problems in the whole humanity.
We can say that the Prophet ﷺ, any calamity you can think about, he went through it.
Yep.
Any calamity the Prophet thought you could think about, he went through it.
Even
so you can imagine death, poor, his honor, his friends, seeing people die, him being almost killed, him being poisoned. All he even saw hellfire. So it's almost like how can you compare anything? He literally saw hellfire, and he mentioned that I've never seen anything like this.
Worse than that.
Nothing worse than that.
Yeah, so that means, again, it's perspective. Second of all, what we think the best people are living have gone through the worst
But
things.
now there is an issue.
Okay.
Should we strive to have an easy life?
Yep.
Should we strive to have a happy life? Should our aim be, I'm gonna live just to be happy, or I'm gonna live just to have an easy life, or I'm gonna live to the fullest? Should that be our aim? I say no.
What does Islam tell us?
Islam tells us, Allah Azza wa Jal tells us that He created us لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. He created us كمان in another surah, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. So our aim should be, I want to please Allah. And you know what's funny? These things come with it.
Correct. The happiness,
It's almost like
contentment,
everything comes with it. So it's almost like a magnet going. If you take Islam and you stick yourself to Islam, because look, whether you take it or not, it's gonna keep going. It's almost like a bus, it's gonna keep going. Whether you want to enter that bus or not, it's not gonna harm the bus. The bus is gonna continue going.
So success is gonna be achieved by the Muslims. But if you want to be a practicing Muslim and achieve it with them, or you wanna stay behind, it's your
choice. Because look, Islam doesn't need me and you. Allah Azza wa Jal doesn't need me and you. You get me?
Correct.
It's gonna go. You get me? It's all like I said, it's just a bus going by. And this bus has magnets. It pulls other things with it. And then when you reach your destination, you're gonna have everything you need.
What do you mean other things? Like the good stuff you need?
The good stuff that you need. So Islam, if you enter into Islam and you practice Islam, and you only focus on reaching your destination, which is pleasing Allah Azza wa Jal, it has a magnet. It's gonna take anything that you need with it, from happiness, money, and all of these things.
Also, I was thinking while talking about the purpose of life, I was thinking like, how can it be that Allah has created everyone and everyone has a different lifestyle? Like you are an engineer, I'm a doctor, and this and that. Is that the purpose of life? Becoming an engineer was the purpose of life, or becoming a doctor is the purpose of life? And I was thinking, that is unjust then. Like one guy is enjoying life in this way, the other guy is enjoying the life.
And this is a good point, is things has to be objective. Things has to be like
Yeah,
principled and one.
exactly.
If we only say you're gonna
You are
you're,
successful if you're a doctor.
exactly,
Then
then what
it's
about people who are not
yes.
what about people who can't be doctors? What if
Yes.
you're saying, for example, you have to be a pilot to be successful,
Yep.
but in order for you to be a pilot you have to have good vision? What about people who don't have good visions? I'm
Like
wearing
me.
glasses, you know. What about me
Yep.
then? You get me? But it has to be something that anyone can
So,
achieve it. Anyone can achieve it. And this thing should also be like always there. Like, for example, someone who lived all his life trying to gain as much money as he can, in one moment he could be bankrupt.
yeah.
And we
is
see
he
this happen.
is he unsuccessful? Is he a loser? Is he?
Who?
Does that mean if he lost all the money he has
Yeah.
gained throughout? Is he?
Is he a loser?
Yes.
You get me? And the thing is, it's not something that stays.
People will perceive him to be a loser. But is
Exactly.
it true? He has worked for it. He has worked for it halal. Allah has his what you call reward in his in the qiyamah, and maybe give him back in his in this
Exactly.
world as well.
As well. But
Exactly.
the point is, when you connect
Attach
yourself or attach yourself to something that goes
Subjective.
away, subjective and goes away, money, friends, women, whatever, it's like they go away. When you're old, no girl will want you anymore.
correct.
When you are broke all of a sudden, you could be broke all of a sudden. You can have so many friends, and this is the whole reason you just want to have as much friends. You get me? You, for example, all you want to do is eat. Some people, they live to eat.
Correct.
You get me?
Yes.
Some you should eat to live, but some people live to eat. You get me?
Correct.
So when you're living, and then all of a sudden you get so fat, you get sick, you can't eat anymore because you're sick. Now you're being fed through a tube. You get me? So these things I'm trying to tell you is, these things are, one, subjective. Two, it's not something that is long lasting. But when you look at Islam, when you look at your relationship with Allah Azza, it doesn't go anywhere. Either you disconnect yourself from it or you connect yourself to it. It doesn't go anywhere. There is no way Allah Azza wa Jal will go anywhere. Islam will not go anywhere. It's there.
Is it you?
And
You want success or no?
it's your choice. Money and all of these things, it's not your choice. One day you're young and strong, you can get all the women you want. And then when you're old,
That brings back to the point which I was making is being a doctor or being this cannot be a purpose of life. A purpose of life should be something which is universal and objective to everyone. And that is وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ.
Yes.
It's the best.
it's that.
Now to do the ibadah, you have to earn money. To earn money, you have to become
And that's
a
what I'm
doctor or
saying, it
something.
comes with
It's
it.
different. Yes, it
And
comes,
it comes with it.
If your intention is to do it for the sake of Allah, have a halal income, and to the end goal is the Jannah. It's easy, simple. Life
Get
is
me?
then actually easy.
This is now becomes an easy life because you acknowledge that,
Yes.
yes, and you're not also living for that. It's not like your whole life you're revolving it
Exactly.
around
Living to become an engineer, which people
No,
do.
Exactly, I'm telling
And
you.
after the worst part, I have listened to a lot of podcasts. Many people, not them, once they achieve any
Now what?
goal, they live in depression for the rest of their life because
and
first half of their life.
by the way, I read about this.
Yep.
I read about this, and they mentioned this. It's almost like they get bored. To put it in simple words,
even
they
army
get bored.
person and anyone.
But this is what I'm saying is the simple way to put it is they busy themselves in their journey to success.
Yes, once they achieve it,
Once they don't have anything to do anymore. So now all the darkness that they were living through, all of this, it starts coming,
it comes
creeping,
back,
and
way
they can't do anything because I already succeeded. I already did what I want. So what do? They do what?
and anything haram or suicide,
Exactly.
This is
Drugs, alcohol, or suicide.
which also leads to suicide.
Yeah,
Anyways.
exactly.
This also proves that Islam having an ultimate goal which you can't achieve in this world will keep you at ease.
Exactly.
Any kind of life
and
I
I've
live.
always said this, like, subhanallah, you have to connect yourself with something that is, you could say, it's always there.
Okay, one more point, an amazing point. I'm trying to bring all the theories and thoughts which I used to think, which you studied or whatever, which was this world cannot be, no, the purpose of this world cannot be this world itself. The purpose of this world cannot be this world itself.
Absolutely.
You cannot create something and the purpose was its own creation and nothing else.
Yeah.
Maybe you made a camera. Does that mean the purpose of camera was to be just made and kept there? It's not possible.
And I want you to think about this. Like, imagine how humans. Yeah, when
Correct.
we see humans, different people, different colors, different personalities, different someone is funny, someone is always angry, someone is enjoy sitting with them. Everyone has his potential, everyone has his lights, everyone matters. You get me? But when you make these special creatures, us, the creation of Allah, just like animals, animals, well, you
Even they are
kill them,
simply created.
yeah, you kill them, you eat them, or whatever they live, do whatever, and they, animals lived for even before humans. You can say, depending on science and whatnot. What buildings did they build? What civilization did they create? Like, but look, Allah Azza wa Jal gave us that brains, and look at the potential of human beings and all of these things, and we are different totally. We can express our emotions in ways, and we affect people, and all of that, and we don't have any purpose. We are this special with the mind Allah gave us Azza wa Jal, with all of the potential we see people have, and with all of these smart and different people and all of these things, just so that you die and that's it. Imagine you see a person that's your friend, that's a celebrity, that's whatever. This person had his mind, he has his ideas, he has his potential, he had his life and everything, his personality, his character. All of this just goes down the drain. Someone who did so good, or someone did so bad in his life, and what is that's it. Khalas, when you die, it's gone. It doesn't enter the brain.
Sense.
It doesn't make sense. When you look at a cat, for example, all he does is just lay down in next to the trash bag or whatever, and then it gets hit by a car, it dies. Sad, but you get me. A cow, for example, cats, you, for example, kill them. You get me?
Let's not make a beefy talk. Let's keep it cozy.
You get me?
Yeah, I get you.
So you slaughter them.
Yeah, humans can't be simply purposeless. They have a purpose, and that's why they are here.
So when you look at people, you can definitely tell and see that we have more than just being like animals. We are more than just animals. We are more than just arrangements of atoms, and all of a sudden here we are. We are more than
Also,
that.
there's one more point. If you really think that materialism is the success of life, you cannot feed your soul the soil. Everything in this world is created from the soil, and that soil cannot give the satisfaction to the soul. You need a higher power, you need a
Something
source
higher, yeah.
which can satisfy your soul. But how can you tell this thing that, Munzir, we have seen many people, they live a very pleasant life until the age of 40, 50. And that time the religions hit and they start thinking what is about afterlife.
That's natural.
Yeah, but why not before the 40s and the 50s and
I mean,
before
that's
the 60s?
natural. Obviously.
Or they're deluded in this world and they
No,
keep
I would
running
say, look, reality hits, but it hits people in different stages.
Okay.
Some people, Allah Azza wa Jal gave them the brain that everyone has his brains, but some people, they use it earlier than others. You get me? For any other reason. Some are too busy with whatever they're doing, some are doing whatever, so, but when you get old, now reality hits like nothing else. Once you're starting to...
And once you achieved everything.
No, you not necessarily achieved anything. I'm seeing my beard get white. I saw my father's beard get white,
And then he died.
And he died. And now I'm reaching that stage. What is there deeper than this? Because people who live older, more, they see the life in its realities. They had so many friends, so many of them died. They saw people open businesses and life change and family and all of these things. His best friend went away, his other friend became an artist, his other friend did this. And then he recognized that, there has to be something definitely deeper than this. And I'm reaching that stage of no return. I'm reaching that stage of no return, So reality hits him like nothing else. So he started thinking like, I think I should start focusing.
Why don't they think before the age?
Because they haven't experienced life yet. This is number one. Is
Okay.
many of them in the early ages, they thought whatever they had right now will stay forever.
Okay.
And you will see many people walking around like this. You will see, for example, someone having a best friend, or may Allah protect us, a girlfriend, for example, a'udhu billah, and they think that this will last forever. They think that their situation right now will last forever. Their best friends will last forever. Their parents will last forever. No one thinks about, my parents can die. Like my parents can die today. Everyone say, yeah, they will die. But no one actually thinks about it. No one actually thinks about the reality of how life could actually be. But once you reach that age of 40 something, and حتى بلغ أشده وبلغ 40 سنة, Allah mentioned, until he reached that age of maturity, and then he mentioned that age, which is 40 years. You get me?
Prime.
This is the prime. This is the age of full maturity, like the most mature you can be. You get me? So when you reach that level and you've seen life, and this is why from the people who will be punished, for example, like very harsh punishment, is an old man who does zina. An old man who does zina. Why?
Because he
Because
knows the reality
he
and
knows.
still.
You get me? He by 10 he probably got married and all of these. But why are you still indulging in what kids indulge in? That doesn't mean if kids do it, it's okay.
Correct.
But it's more expected from them because
Correct.
they're too focused in what's right now in there for me. But when you reach a certain age, you see life in its reality, and this is why we see a lot of the big shuyukh and old shuyukh, not big in like scholars, not like old people. When they reach a certain level, they're like, you know what? Now I'm in the masjid. You see them in the first row, you see them in all of. But when you ask them, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, when you were 20, when you were 30, were you like this? You would say no. And I wish I was like this. So this is why Allah Azza wa Jal bless us.
They wish. This
Yeah.
is the point.
Exactly.
They had Allah has blessed us and shown us the right way. And if we don't follow it now, we'll be the most regretful people in future. This is the message we want to leave you with. That when Allah has given you the hidayah and given you, and what I believe is 40s is one thing, but 20s is a different level of prime.
It's different, yeah.
It is a biggest prime.
Youth is a double-edged sword. Because the Prophet ﷺ, as he mentioned, that he was given success by the youth.
Yes,
The 70 people of the Ansar who gave bay'ah to the Prophet, the youngest one was 7 years old. 7 years old. Where are our 7 years old now? The army that the Prophet wanted to send to before he died to the Room, Usama was the lead. He was like 18 something
17,
like
18.
And who was with big Sahaba?
40s and 50s.
40s, and not only this, big in status also.
Correct.
You get me? So the youth is like a double-edged sword. If you use your potential as a youth, you have energy, you can build something great. But at the same time, if you use your energy in bad, then you will indulge in a lot of bad.
And that will be very hard.
And it will be very hard. And you see, this is why youth is like, many of them are like sheep, The media, the big guys are the shepherds, they move them right, left. One day, this type of jeans is the trend. You see everyone wearing that type of jeans. One day later, they make, earrings, and everyone now is, you get me? So
There is a lot
and
of
wallahi, sometimes when I go, subhanallah, my university and other place, I see people, they're the same. Wear the same, walk the same. They have the same items, the small bags they carry. Everyone all of a sudden is
nothing uniqueness.
Nothing is unique, although they don't know the potential they have. Every single one of them, if they actually like sat down with themselves and thought about what I could do, they could be something big. They could do something big. And not big, be a musician or be an artist. I'm talking big in deen. Do something big for the religion. He could be the best engineer for the sake of Allah and build, whatever, and become an army guy or whatever, but
Yep, and this will be the topic for our next podcast. So hang along, and we'll have more amazing, cozy discussions, inshallah, with Munzir and new other coming guests. So see you soon. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
والسلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.